Hi there, I'm Cassandra Cummings. Welcome to the Stocks and Stiletto Society. This is a presentation that is designed to help you better understand how the Stocks Sister Circles work, also known as our investment club program. So let's get to it. Again, I'm so pleased to offer the Stock Sister Circles, which are our rendition of investment clubs. Most people have known about investment clubs for a long time. However, we find that a lot of African Americans and a lot of, Black women are just not linking up, connecting, and being a part of investment clubs. So we're so excited to be able to offer this program. So just a quick show of hands, how many of you have ever been a member of an investment club? So I'll give people a chance to answer that. Okay, so no, never been. Okay, never been. No. Oh yeah, we have a yes. Okay, cool, great. Okay, yes. No. Okay. And for the few that have been a part of an investment club, were you happy with the investment gains? Okay, so yes, yes, yes. Okay, great. Now, okay, that makes sense. And that could depend on just like the type of companies that were selected. It could also depend on what was going on in the economy at the time. So there are a lot of different factors that play into whether or not your experience or your account actually did what you wanted it to do, right? Which was to show gain. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how this program came about. Someone in the Stocks and Stiletto Society mentioned it. Hey, we should do these investment clubs. And so with that, I put together a committee. And these are all Black women who have come together from all over the country. We've got just beautiful women who have really put this program together. So I like to say that this program is one that is designed by us for us. And so we had healthcare professionals, we had engineers, attorneys, we have, just a myriad of different Black women from various backgrounds, criminal law, government. It's just a really interesting mix of women. And I think that being able to organize this and have a lot of women have their input and really kind of help shape what the program looks like today was an amazing experience. Again, I'm Cassandra Cummings. I have a degree in accounting from USC. I'm a financial advisor and I'm an investment advisor rep. I've had a lot of, licenses, and I've worked for some major Fortune 500 companies as part of my financial services background. So I'm really excited with the work that we're doing in the Stocks and Stiletto Society and now with the Stock Sister Circles. So you're in the right place if you currently want a way to invest with like-minded women and pool money to build wealth faster. What people don't really understand is when you are really trying to move your finances forward, build and create wealth, it's best to do that in an environment and around people who really have the same objectives and focus as you do, because you guys sort of have the same mindset, sort of have these same objectives, and you can actually move the needle a lot further, a lot faster in terms of being able to create wealth. It's really a very dynamic sort of connection that you build with these women that really becomes a sisterhood unlike any other. You're also in the right place if you currently want to have access to investment education tools to help you become a confident investor. A lot of times when we put together the Stock Sister Circles, or you join a Stock Sister Circle or create your own circle, A lot of times, many of the women have never invested or they're fairly new to investing. And so they really need to have investment literacy available to them to really help them ramp up. And once you kind of know certain tools and certain techniques, it automatically builds your confidence as an investor. And that's what we want for everyone, whether they become a part of the Stock Sister Circles or not. But definitely, if you're a part of the Stock Sister Circle, we want you to build up that confidence, and we want you to build it as quickly as possible. So we provide an investment training platform with a lot of different tools and techniques, videos for you to take a look at to really help you gain that confidence as fast as possible. You're also in the right place if you've thought about creating passive income to help you meet your financial goals, and you've even thought about leaving a legacy. So when we talk about passive income, we basically talk about making money in your sleep. And as a part of the Stock Sister Circles, you are basically creating an account and creating a way in which you can build passive income. What I like about being a part of an investment club or being a part of a Stock Sister Circle is that you will learn so many things about stocks, the stock market, how to invest, what to look for, and that will help you also build your individual accounts outside of the circles that will also help you meet your financial goals. So what we teach you in the Stock Sister Circles can easily be applied to your own individual portfolios and things of that nature. And if you think about leaving a legacy, not only just the financial aspect of it, but now you have this toolkit. Now you're equipped to pass this knowledge on as part of your legacy to people who you love and care about, whether that be nieces, nephews, children. It could be relatives and friends that you cross paths with. So leaving a legacy can go even beyond just the financial aspect of it. But we find that many people don't go forward with it because there is a struggle, there are hindrances, and these are very, very real to many of us. Discussing money is taboo. We don't like to talk about it. We don't like to talk about it because oftentimes we are being measured against other people's financial portfolios or their financial picture. And oftentimes for women, it almost feels as if we're being graded. And no one wants to have their financial picture lined up with someone else's financial picture, only to discover that they may not be doing nearly as well, or they're doing a lot better compared to this person over here. So because it's so taboo, and because there are so emotional, there's some, so many emotional components attached to discussing money and things like that, people really shy away from discussing money. But in the Stock Sister Circle, you become pretty comfortable with talking about not just your portfolio, because you don't necessarily have to discuss what you've got going on outside of the circle, but you really become comfortable about talking about money and talking about numbers and talking about metrics to really help you better understand how money works on a much larger scale, not just you individually, but how money moves and works around the world. Because now you're going to be looking at companies and assessing how companies actually do business and what that translates into as far as money and profits are concerned. Slow to build wealth with savings and investing alone is also a struggle. A lot of times we want to build intergenerational wealth. We want to create financial independence for ourselves. We want a certain amount of savings and investing. We want to retire early, but it can be very slow to build upon these objectives, especially when we're working by ourselves or just, it could be you and your spouse and so forth. But once you start to pool your resources together, right? There's strength in numbers. I have to give it up to my warriors out here, but there are strength in numbers. And that also applies to being able to pool dollars together to invest on a much larger scale than you could possibly do on your own. So just something to think about. And then a lot of times we have women who just do not know enough about the stock market. It's been this sort of scary abyss, large open marketplace that no one knows how to navigate. We've heard horror stories about people losing their shirts and losing their skirts in the stock market. So people have shied away from actually even figuring out how best to fit in, what to do, and how to navigate the stock market. And so they have just, through inertia, have not even made that decision to even venture off into the stock market, and how that can actually help them meet their financial objectives a lot faster. So this stock sister circle really came about as a result of a statistic I came across. 23.5 million Black women are here in the country, and out of that population, single women of color ages 36 to 49 really have a median wealth of $200, and that's up from $5 in 2010. And if you're a single parent, you have a negative net worth. And so the Stock Sister Circle is really they've been created to really change this paradigm, because Black women are also the most educated. So why doesn't that translate into wealth? And so we believe that the focus has not been on financial and investment literacy, and programs like the Stock Sister Circles are really designed to help move this number from 200, hopefully up to 200,000 in the coming years. So we really want to see some progress, and we're hoping that that's going to happen. It's not that we think we know it's going to happen. We're working on it. So we also know that there is a significant racial wealth gap as well. And as this chart that was put together by the U.S. Census Bureau shows us, white people obviously have, household median wealth of about 110,000. Next, it would be Asian, and I think that's purely because they're just not, they just don't have the numbers in terms of population, but they are not that far behind. But then you see this huge decline between Asians and Hispanics. I mean, it's something, pretty significant, down to about 7,000. And believe it or not, they are even ahead of Black people in terms of the racial wealth gap, where the average Black family has about $5,000 in net worth. And we believe that that could be primarily due to the lack of investments and also home ownership. So it's a combination of two. So this program focuses in on the stock market investments to really help close that racial gap. So the power of stock sister circles, let's take a look at those. So there was one investment club that was featured in Black Enterprise back in July of 2002, and Philip Tatum was the founder. And over 2 years, the group members contributed about $118,000 overall, but the group consisted of professional people, doctors, lawyers, and so they aggressively saved, they aggressively contributed to this portfolio. And in a matter of years, it didn't take just 2 years, but the portfolio ended up growing to about 1.3 million based on a number of different things. They basically made up their portfolio of primarily stocks, but then they started to venture out into real estate. And then the group eventually purchased a car wash and detailing franchise. And so you'll find that you may start off in your group with purchasing stocks, but you may decide to build upon that and venture out into other asset classes such as real estate to really help accelerate your portfolio. But if you have a basis for evaluating companies and evaluating business opportunities that really gets started in your group, there's really nothing that you and your group can't decide to do after that to really accelerate your investment in your group. Okay. This is just sort of a quick picture of the Dow Jones. So these are the 30 companies that we last took a shot of that comprise the Dow Jones 30 industrial average. So a lot of times when we see on the news or we hear on the radio, the Dow Jones was up or the Dow Jones was down, they're really talking about these 30 companies that make up the Dow Jones. And a lot of times you'll find these also make great companies to add to your portfolio because these are very well established companies. And I believe all of them provide a dividend. And that's what we really want. We want the stock price to go up and we want the company to issue dividends, because when we see those things happening, all we should think is cha-ching and money in the bank. So again, these are very well-established companies. They've been around for a long time, probably with the exception like of GE, which is the oldest company on the Dow Jones. But we believe GE is in the midst of a rebirth. There's some things that sort of need to happen with GE, but for the most part, all of these other companies are doing well. And I don't know if GE is still on the Dow Jones. I think they recently, they may have been replaced, I believe, with Apple. So just FYI on that. Get clear on why you need a money team, or rather, you need to be a part of a stock sister circle. I love the motto that NABA has, National Association of Black Accountants, lifting as we climb. As a part of a stock sister circle and being a part of a money team, you really get to sort of focus in on your own personal finances. When you're in your group, you're talking about investments, you're talking about what companies to purchase. It really sort of helps you to then hone in on your own personal finances. It tends to be sort of like a trickle effect, if you will, as you come together in your group, because you want to then sort of magnify what's going on in your group and include your personal finances in that. So we find a lot of people start to really tweak and modify how they structure and move about with their own finances, because you start to see how other people are moving with their finances. And so you start to take little things and tips and strategies and things like that from people in your circle and apply them to your personal finances. You also get investment and stock market knowledge. Again, you start to learn the lingo. You start to talk the talk. And so we want that for everyone. So that way you're better able to understand financial concepts and have the ability to speak intelligently about business, about investing, about evaluating companies. And it's not a foreign concept to you, because once again, Black women are the most educated. We're 6 times educated over and above the population here. Hard for me to say that because it does not translate to our finances. And I just know it's an education gap. We just don't learn it at home. We don't take certain classes at school. And so, of course, it would be something foreign to us. And a lot of times we have perceived it to be quite boring, but we do like the benefits of it. We like the end results of being able to have income and have money. And so we need to better understand these concepts. We also find that as a part of a stock sister circle, you get leadership and speaking skills as well, because you have to eventually present a stock to the group. Everyone is responsible at some point in the calendar to present a stock. And so we teach you how to evaluate a company, and we teach you what to sort of go over when it's your turn to pitch your stock. And so it's really exciting to see people put together some amazing PowerPoint presentations, even though you don't have to, but we give you a framework to use to help you develop leadership and speaking skills. Also, a lot of our clubs are set up where we have a president, vice president, secretary, and a treasurer. So if you want to step into that leadership role, you can. And many people have also put that on their resumes. They've put that on their websites, Instagram pages, that they are president or that they are secretary of, so-and-so investment club, or so-and-so Stock Sister Circle. So it is a big deal for a lot of women to be in a leadership position for some of the Stock Sister Circles that we offer. So how do you ignite your investment team or your money team? So typically what we find is that if you are putting together an investment club on your own with coworkers, with church members, with sorority sisters, with friends and family, there's really a lot involved. And so you have to recruit members, or you put your, team together. You have to create the legal structure. You got to set up an initial meeting. Everybody comes in, to someone's home or meets up at, some restaurant or some, office, and they schedule this meeting and they talk about, how the investment club's going to be formed and all that stuff. And then you start to have monthly meetings. You've got to develop operating procedures. You've got to open up the right accounts, bank accounts, brokerage accounts, so that you can start collecting and and at some point maybe have to distribute money to people. So you have to have the right account set up. Then you have to establish accounting procedures. How are you going to account for this? Are you going to have QuickBooks Online? Are you going to do, some sort of accounting software? So there's a lot involved. And then you probably have to have an investment literacy program teaching people about the different concepts, the different ratios, or, just how to present a stock, how to look at a financial statement, things like that. Really kind of all have to be taken into consideration when you put together an investment club program. And this could very well be why we don't see a lot of African American women, we don't see a lot of Black people starting and maintaining these investment clubs, because of all of the hoops that they have to jump through just to get the club up and running. We basically take all of that and make it so much easier, and we take care of all of that behind the scenes. We streamline the process to allow you, if you want to go fast, you can go alone, but if you want to go far, we help you go together. And with that, we have the Stocks and Stilettos Society, Stock Sister Circles, and we take all of that off the table. We make it easier for you to basically slide right in, start investing with your sisters. We have clubs all across the country. Believe it or not, we have a lot of clubs along the coastal states, and then we have some clubs sort of in the middle of the country as well. We don't have clubs. If you see that your state's not necessarily listed here, it doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have a club there. Maybe, we had one or two people express interest, and so they have been paired up with people in a neighboring state to help form a club, since the clubs are all designed to meet online, which is, makes it really easy for busy, time-pressed women. So we want to make sure that people get an opportunity to join a club if we have openings in existing clubs, or if they want to start their own club. They have a group of women that they want to just start a club with. We can help facilitate that for them, make it really easy for them to do. But that doesn't mean just because the state isn't listed here that you won't be able to be a part of a club. Again, we'll have to just put you together with a club that's very close. We look primarily at time zone first, and so we kind of put you there, and then we design the clubs that way. And like I said before, we have existing clubs that are accepting new members that may be in some of these states, and then if they're closed to new members, we'll start to create new clubs in the same state. So that's sort of where we are now. Some of our clubs have been around for at least a year now, since this is our third enrollment period. And so with that, we have new clubs that are now being created in certain states. So as a member of the Stock Sister Circles, there's actually 3 components. You get access to the investment training app, you get access to the investment literacy modules, and then you also get a free gift. So We used to give a kit. We no longer give a kit. We give a free gift, and that could be a t-shirt and or a mug. So let's take a look at each of these. So with the trading app, it's a seamless and secure app. It's designed to be fun and profitable. And like I said, it's going to get exciting once you start to, interact with your Stock Sister Circle members, and then you see market movement happening. It could definitely be a lot of fun. You can see your profit for the overall club, and you can also see your individual profits. So the app gives you a lot of information. It is designed for clubs. The Stocks and Stilettos Society community has its own community. So when you join our clubs, you get to also you get to see some of the other clubs that are in our community as well. So the good thing about the partnership that we have with the trading app is that the CEO has specifically built out a separate community just for the Stocks and Stilettos Society. So it's actually really exciting to see how other Stock Sister Circles are doing in relation to your club as well as others. So with that, you get shared intelligence as well as shared returns, right? So if you have access to the app, you can see certain indicators. You can see how your portfolio is doing, and everybody sees it. So everybody has access to all the transaction history. So that makes it a very powerful app in the sense that everything is transparent. You see everything. You see who put money in when. You see your share of the profits. So you get access to a lot of information, and nothing is hidden or out of view for certain people. And that's typically not the case for traditional investment clubs. Also, I want to be clear that the app is free to download, but it's not free to use. So in prior enrollments, people were saying, oh, the app is free, the app is free. It is free, but it is not free to use. So each trade is $15. That $15 is spread evenly across all the ladies in your Stock Sister Circle. So if you have 15 ladies, it works out to be $1 per trade. Which is very, very reasonable. So if you have more people, then the cost of that will go down. The requirement is $100 a month. So you will be required to put in $100 a month into the pot to be used to purchase stocks. So that is a requirement to be a part of the Stock Sister Circles. We take care of all the legal documents, and your contributions are set up to be contributed electronically. So you do have to link up your bank account or your credit union. You can even break down the $100. So if you want to do $100 on the first and $100 on the if you want to do $50 on the first and $50 on the 15th of every month, for cash flow purposes, you can even set up your monthly contribution to flow that way, as long as it's $100 per month. So $100 one time, or you can break it up into $50 for the first half of the month and $50 for the second half of the month. We help you learn how to run your meetings. And again, if you want to be an officer in your Stock Sister Circle, like a president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, we teach you how to carry out your role and your responsibilities for that role. So exciting. So when we talk about the investment literacy part of it, there are 4 modules. In module 1, we talk about how to prepare to be an investment club or a Stock Sister Circle member. 5 ways to be a good member, how to be financially ready, and how to keep your emotions in check. A lot of times we'll find investors can be emotionally motivated, whether for positive things or negative things. So we want to help you be a confident investor. And part of that confidence comes about when you actually are able to keep your emotions under control. And so as part of a group, you'll find this is going to definitely work to your benefit if you're able to do that, right? Because we're all moving in the same direction. In module 2, we talk about stock basics. We talk about the stock market, the exchanges, how to read tickers, watch lists, and alerts. We talk about various trade types, even though in the stock sister circles, you'll primarily work with one, which will be limit orders. So the app does a good job of helping you put in trades with limit orders. And so you'll learn about that and a few other different types of trades. In Module 3, we talk about company-related factors such as fundamentals, and this is basically being able to use financial statements, understand a financial statement, what to look for, key financial metrics that help you select stocks, and understanding what that means when you're looking at companies, and you're going to be looking for companies that have competitive market advantage. And I help you better understand what that means and what that looks like. And then the fourth module, which is a relatively new module for investment clubs, we look at technicals. Technicals are basically how to read charts. We're not really concerned with how well the company is doing financially. We're only looking at stock price movements. So this is another tool, if you will, to help you better evaluate whether or not purchasing a company's stock is the right decision. So we look at price movements, we look at trading volume, and institutional buyers that may have an impact on your stock sister circles portfolio and even your own individual portfolio. So typically, like we said, you can have as little as 3 members in your club and go up to 20 members is the maximum, and they are organized by time zone and experience level. Most of our new members have little to no investment experience, which is okay. You don't have to have any experience to be a part of a stock sister circle, because we're going to help you get that experience. And there is no guarantee that you'll be placed in a group where there's going to be sort of like an experienced investor. So all of our clubs are set up so that you have access to certain types of information. You have access to myself, Cassandra Cummings. I also have someone that helps with some of the trainings as far as some of the apps and tools that we use. So we get you ready to go as an investor by the time you are getting ready to purchase your first stock as a stock sister circle member. So again, minimum you can have is 3, maximum for our clubs is 20 people. Okay? The first bonus that you get as a part of the Stock Sister Circle member is that you get a stock analysis cheat sheet. And this is a way for you to quickly analyze a company to determine the fiscal health of a company. So this is really key in being able to break down whether or not a company stock is a good buy or not. So we teach you how to basically evaluate stocks in a very quick and easy format. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to complete the cheat sheet and help you make that determination. The second bonus is that you get my free, my book isn't free, but you get it for free as part of the Stock Sister Circles, which is Rich on Purpose, how to change your mindset and get the money you desire. So a lot of times, sometimes the way we think about money can be blocking how we actually attain wealth and look at abundance. So it's a great read. It's a quick read, and we want people to be intentional about building wealth and creating financial freedom and independence in their life. Great book, Rich on Purpose, of course, my book. And that's a part of the bonuses when you get to sign up for the Stock Sister Circle. So what do you get? You get access to the trading app. You get your legal structure already set up for you. You get a resource section. You get a great community. You also get all of your startup documents. You get ongoing club support. We're here to support you at any point during your journey with the Stock Sister Circle members. We encourage you. We give you best practices and tips on how to have a great experience in the Stock Sister Circles. You get a training module if you want to be an officer. You also get training modules as a club member. Like I said, we break down stock basics, fundamentals, technicals. So these are accessible to you at all times. So if you work at night, if you work in the daytime, you can get these you can get access to these at any time. Standing in line at the DMV, you can look over these videos. You also get a free gift. So we'll talk a little bit more about that when you get signed up. If there are any local events that the Stocks and Stilettos Society puts on, you'll get access to discounts. And then we did an Stocks and Stilettos investment conference. And last year, actually beginning of this year in May, we were able to offer free admission to the investment conference. And I believe most of them had a VIP access, which was valued at $397. So as you were able to make it to the conference, then you got a $397 VIP ticket for free. So it's very possible that we'll be doing something very similar to that in the coming year that you could potentially take advantage of. And you get the 2 bonuses. You get the stock analysis cheat sheet, and you also get the ebook Rich on Purpose. So how much should all of this cost? I mean, we put together this great program. So how much should all of this cost as a person who is interested in signing up? So initially when we started the program, we started up as small clubs. So you sort of already had to have your club formed, and that price was at $4.99. Yes, I know, a lot. So that $4.99 was spread over however many members you had join. So if you had 10 members join, then each person paid $49.99. And if you didn't have that many people, you had to pay more. But we've scratched that. And now we just have a one-time enrollment fee of $197, and then you pay a $9.99 a month going forward to access the community, access the investment training modules, and so forth. So the Stock Sister Circle is $179 if you were able to join before September 21st, and now after September 21st, to join is $197, and we have basically increased the price twice already because of the different things that we continue to add as part of the Stock Sister Circle experience. And so we don't even know if we'll be able to keep it at the $197 price. But the $179 was last enrollment season's price, and that was available through September 21st. And then currently we are at the fall winter price, which is $197. So here's basically how the payment structure works. The $197 is your Stock Sister Circle enrollment fee, and it is $197. Doors close October 5th. So we shut down fall winter enrollment, and we don't open again until spring summer of 2019. So FYI. So if you don't get in now, you'll have to wait until spring summer of next year, and we don't know what the price will be at that time. Also, your first monthly contribution that will be pooled with your other Stock Sister Circle members will be $100, and that starts November 1st. So you got a little bit of time between when the door closes and when your first contribution is expected. And then beginning November 15th, that's when the $9.99 monthly fee kicks in, and that will be an ongoing fee every 15th of the month. So that is, again, to run the community, to also run the investment training modules that you get on, instant and 24-hour access to. So that's all I have. You can join today by visiting bit.ly Stock Sister Circles. That's where we have our enrollment page. And once you sign up, you'll be sent a questionnaire, and it's going to ask you some questions about where you live, and are you joining, or are you a part of a group that's coming on board. So make sure that you take a look at the questionnaire and you complete the questionnaire, and you'll also get an email. That email will also have the link to the questionnaire as well as some additional information to help you get started with the Stock Sister Circles. So we're super excited. Again, about the program. We're so glad you have the opportunity to join us and take a look at this information. And we can't wait to see you become a part of the Stock Sister Circle experience. Again, I'm Cassandra Cummings, and I look forward to seeing you in the Stocks and Stiletto Society, either on Instagram or Facebook. Bye-bye.